whipping in her own lane. Ain't nobody messing with my clique. Yeah, yeah. Girl gang, squad goals, bang bang, sauce up, drippin', rain, brought the troop out, and they all bang. Girl gang, girl gang, girl gang, girl gang, girl gang, girl gang, squad goals, bang bang, iced out.
No. We are redoing that one. We are totally redoing that.
That would have been
Oh
me.
my gosh.
Clumsy.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Okay. I don't know how to start this actually. Because this is like part 2 to a conversation we've already had. Identity. Y'all are looking shocked. That I just want to do a quick.
Are you gonna wear those shades?
I might not. Oh, you can't see through those though. They're just pretty for nothing. Okay.
Okay.
I know. And they look so nice with your hair. So the other week, our first episode was identity, and we just unpacked. I feel like we just went on the surface of the whole topic of identity. We just spoke about finding self, that it's a process, discovering your passion. Hi Nala. Like, where's the puppy going? Sorry. Discovering your purpose and the basics. And then when I got home, I was like, no, we haven't really touched on the real issue here, which is the identity crisis that is going on. So I just wanted us to just go into that, talk about it, because I've got some very interesting questions that I want to ask you guys. I'm hoping that y'all can have the right answers for everyone who's maybe going through the same thing. So a few weeks ago, I shared with you the Jackie Hill Perry status. I'm not sure if you guys even read it. I'm about to
I
expose
saw
you.
it. I had seen it on Instagram and Twitter.
What's
as
your
well.
take on that? Or should I read it again?
read it.
Let me just find it. Let me just find it. Okay. Everybody is trying to figure out who they are. The problem is most of us are expecting creation to tell us. We walk into the day with the expectation that a creative thing, people, money, intellect, jobs, followers, etc. can give us our names. But we all know that these things are fickle and susceptible to change. Therefore, whatever identity they give us one day won't be the identity we are handed the next. It's very long. I could read it all, but that's what really got my attention. So it made me want to ask, is there an identity crisis and why? Tiwi, what do you think?
I don't think there is an identity crisis. I think that we just always have been told we have to do things in a certain way. So that's why we get confused, because you thought, I'm going to go to school. When I finish school, I'm going to go to university. We all had that plan. I'm going to get married at 25. I'll have
Oh yeah.
2 children, a car. I'm going to have all of these
In
things.
the million.
Yeah, and I'm going to be happy, I'm going to have a job. But then you grow up and it's not that. I think what is happening is society is changing. And the way in which life happens, like it's not like our parents where they finished university, they got married, they had kids. Things have changed. So with that change, it's caused like a shake-up where we have to think, or we have a lot more time to think about like our identity as people. That's what I think.
But what you're saying about the shakeup, is it being caused by how we place our identity in things that are constantly changing? Is that the real problem here? Because we base it on, did they like my picture on Insta? Is someone doing this? Maybe I should be doing that. I went to school, I got the degree, so this is who I am. Is it that?
I think that's more about validation and less about identity.
Okay.
We live in a society where we feed on constant validation. Identity, I think it's a bit harsh, if that's the right word, to use that we are living in an identity crisis era. I think the main problem, I actually thought about this, is that we are growing up with a lot of influences from other places.
Oh yeah.
You've got colonization that changed everything. It changed how our, let's say, great grandparents even looked at themselves and what made them who they were. So a lot of who we are is influenced by outside forces. I think what's happening now is in this day and age, we are more proud to be African and we're trying to identify what that is to us
Yeah.
now. Like what does it mean to be a modern day Swati woman or a
Yeah.
modern day African woman? We are trying to now see that, okay, I like this, I like that. I still want to very much push that I'm about my culture, but how do I do it in a way that still makes me feel worthy as a person? I think that's what the problem is. It's more like a confusion and trying to identify who we are, not like our parents, because we're obviously not like them. The world is very different, and when they were, I'm sure. And another thing we have to consider is that we've never been this age. Identity is a constant changing thing. You've never,
That's true.
it's
You've never
not a
experienced
repeat.
this.
Yeah, you've never experienced this.
Yeah.
Same thing with them. Their identities are constantly changing, and it's influenced by different things to us. If you even put it like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, how do you then navigate a constantly changing identity in a healthy way? Because I don't think we're navigating it in a healthy way if we're going to start having conversations about it being a crisis. So see, there's something that's really not going on okay. What's your take on that, Sipe?
For me, not to be religious or too Christian, but with what you said, I feel with what everyone else was saying that we are actually basing or trying to figure out our identity on things that are changing instead of focusing or placing it in a constant, something that doesn't actually change. And for me, that's what. Like if you were to actually identify, like who does he say you are based on the word? I feel that doesn't change. He doesn't change. He's the same today, yesterday. Right. So for me, I feel for best navigation is for you to go back to what the word actually says, who the word actually says.
But then how do you approach it, especially in our generation where people are either running away from God, don't believe in God? How do you now say this is a healthier way to navigate this?
You first have to identify what is unhealthy. Because to some people, it's like, to some people, certain things may, to us, to me, certain things may be like, no, that is just wrong. But to somebody, that is right. Like, that's fine. Identity crisis is just the world's way of making you panic about something that is unnecessary. Not to panic up, think about it. We are constantly trying to figure out who we are. It's the human condition.
Constantly.
Yeah, it's a human condition. It's not going to change. But what you ought not to do is start panicking, because I do believe in this verse where it says, "For God's ways are not our ways,
Oh yeah.
and our ways are not His ways." So the way in which He will work in you, it's not going to be now. Like we want things now. Things happen slowly. Like if you look at who you are now, today, that's not who you were 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And even if coming from a non-religious point of view, just change happens constantly. You're not the same. Like even 3 months down the line, you're not. Something can easily switch in your mind. Like you can decide today that I no longer want to do A, B, C, D. I want to be this person. And you slowly work on it, you meditate on it, and you change it. But identity crisis, I just feel like there is no standard of what you should be. Because even if you are a Christian, there are different kinds of Christians.
Oh
There
yeah.
are different kinds of denominations. Same thing with any religion. People always take it from their point of view. I think you just have to you just have to be flexible.
I think that's it.
You can't be rigid.
I think that's really it. I think our generation is the most depressed one yet. Or maybe we think that because our parents don't talk about their depression or something. But depression and mental health has been such a thing in our generation. could that be tied to us trying to navigate identity? How much does identity play in our mental health? I'm not sure if Ndobi, you want to take this one.
I think for me also one of the things that has maybe contributed to us being the way we are is that like everyone's lives are in your face. It's not like yeah, like we're all in each other's face. It wasn't like yesterday where I didn't know what they was doing, was doing, you know. So like that makes you compare yourself to the next person, and
Yeah.
like that's really poison. Like comparison is like serious poison. So I think social media, yes, it's good. The internet is really great and everything, but like our mental health, just apart from my, because that's where you get your identity from as well. Especially if you grew up with certain people, you're like, okay, so this is my cohort. This is what we're supposed to be doing. This is what like we're done with school now, and etc. etc. So like I think that's what has taken a toll on our mental health. I don't know if our parents were as depressed as we were, as we are like
Yeah.
currently. Maybe they did have growing pains, but I don't know. But I know that social media causes you
It
to be
does.
sick.
It
Like,
really
I
does.
feel social media plays a role. Again, this is just me and my opinion, but we have shied, like our parents back then. Fine, social media wasn't there, so what
Yeah.
were they plugged into? It was more of church or whatever. I feel like they had that connection that they kept going to, so they were rooted in that. So it
something.
wasn't as easy for if TV posts something for you to easily compare yourself. Whereas now there's social media, but you don't have this constant in your life as well. So we are easily shifted
And social media is
when-
constantly changing.
because it happens. I'm not saying I'm immune to it, but I feel if Ndobi posts something and she's doing well, we no longer want to clap. We're constantly trying to compare ourselves. But if you were to actually be rooted in the word, be rooted in Christ, you'd be able to know that there's a time for everything. Your time is coming. It's her time now. But if you were to understand that, you wouldn't really have, which goes back to the whole identity crisis thing.
Yeah,
You wouldn't
knowing
have that
yourself.
if you knew yourself and knew what you're capable of. If you never, we constantly doubting ourselves based on what others are actually achieving.
Because it's in your
Yeah.
face, like Dobby say. It's in your face.
That's what I'm saying. Even if it is in your face, if you have this go-to place, it it doesn't easily get to you, because my pastor said this past Sunday that depression all starts in the mind. It's a thought. You're thinking, you're seeing Dobby achieving and all that, so you're dwelling on why am I not making it? How come I'm trying? And you really dwell on this thing, and what you think about, you end up acting out, and what you act out becomes a habit becomes a lifestyle, and then you find yourself stuck in depression. I also think
And half
Yeah.
the stuff we actually use social media for is for validation, like what Tina was saying. We post a certain picture up because we're probably feeling down that day and we just want to feel good by the number of likes. You want someone to be like, wow, that looks amazing. Because that's what we're fixing who we are on.
It depends on how your social media works.
How so?
Because for me, I have about 4 different Instagram accounts for different things.
Yeah.
And I had to get to the point on my personal one where I rarely post and I rarely update, because I wanted to use it for something, like for my blog, for like sharing stuff, like building that persona, not like per se. I don't use it like
I feel cute today.
no, I try not to, although I have before. But then I think with that, the world has changed, is changing, and it's only going to get more invasive from here.
yes.
And you need to have constant, I think, conversation with yourself where you're like, because for me, what I do when I fall into that trap of comparing myself to other people, I'm like, but they're not me and I'm not them. Where I'm going is not where they are going, and vice versa. if I compare myself to somebody who's an engineer, I'm not an engineer. I will never be. Even if somebody is doing something I feel is exactly the same to what I'm doing, we have different paths. We have different strengths and weaknesses. I cannot be them. I cannot have their success. They cannot have what's meant for me. I think just having that and constantly meditating on that, it really does help. It really, really does help with that. And then when it comes to our parents in depression, I think our parents have serious mental health issues because, and not even to be funny, because they just could not address
Exactly.
what they were going through, which actually manifested in how they would treat you as a child. Certain things your parents have done to you and you don't understand. Why is it this person is treating me like they hate me? Or like I've done something, like they're taking out all their stress on me because they did not know how to effectively communicate that I'm going through some things. You just ignored it and got on with it. Not that they were stronger or better, or we are a generation where people acknowledge things, and actually that does help when you say to yourself or you say to someone, you know what, I'm not doing great. Because then you have to take a step back and really evaluate why you're not. What are the things subconsciously that are going on? And that helps if you address it healthily, if you unpack it and you unpack that so that you don't end up internalizing certain things.
So I just wanted to know what happens if we don't address the issues that we're going through. Like, what's the worst case scenario?
What will happen is you will just keep on having, you have breakdowns in your relationships with those closest to you.
Yeah.
You will have you just won't, and you'll always have this heaviness about you and you won't really understand. But the barely like
On the surface.
on the surface problems is that you'll keep on having unresolved issues, and it can just hinder your growth as a person. You just remain stagnant, I guess.
Well, I was reading something this morning, and it just takes me back to what we spoke about in the first episode, just to wrap it up. How becoming who you are and the person you're evolving into is a constant process. It's an extract from Michelle Obama's book. For me, becoming isn't about arriving somewhere or achieving a certain aim. I see it instead as forward motion, a means of evolving, a way to reach continuously towards a better self. The journey doesn't end. So, how are your personal journeys going to becoming? What are you doing every single day to become who you hope to be?
I've adopted a new habit, morning routine, because I feel the first few minutes of when you get up actually determine your day. They determine your mood and what you actually do that day. So I've been listening to a lot of Jim Rohn, and I was listening to a clip yesterday actually, and he said, like, setting out your day and all of that, you don't start your day like a new day until you finished one day. So, like, if I wake up today and I tell myself this is what I want to achieve within today, I have to check everything I wanted to achieve off the list, and I don't start any day until I've actually finished this. You don't start any week until you actually finish the one you set out. You don't start any month until you finish the one you started. So I've committed myself to developing my mind. So, because I feel your mind is the strongest asset that you actually have. But I'm constantly evolving my mind. So
Yeah, the same here. I just feel like she's spoke for me. I think the one thing that I've like adopted is a morning routine as well. Like I won't lie and say I'm a morning person. Like I'm not, but it's changed. It's just changing my mind. It's like it feels cleansing to just stick to a morning routine. Wake up in the morning, go jog or walk if I'm too lazy. But just getting my dopamine levels up.
Yeah.
by the time I get to the house, I'm able to be like, okay, what's the day looking like? Oh, let me grab my Bible. Like, oh, let me read my Bible. Instead of just doing things like in bits and pieces. Oh, let me pray. Once I've done that, I listen to like maybe some motivational things because I haven't been reading, but I listen to motivational things on YouTube. So they
What does it look like for you?
For me, I think I've got like a lot of good points from the ladies because I have a problem of starting routines and then not being consistent with them.
Yeah.
But I feel like I definitely need to exercise more. I need to lose weight. Yes, I know it's a controversial thing. People don't like talking about it. But for my health's sake and just for like because I'm getting older now and it's harder as you get older and just to be healthy. Being healthy, having a morning routine like you guys, that's what I've got. I need that, a more solid one. Just being me, as you said, running your own race, doing it your way and what works for you. Yeah. And trying new things. That's always a good one. Like I want to hike. I hate it. I always say I hate it. I hate it, but I'm
Like
going
me
to
and
do
John.
it and complain the entire
Johnny
time.
is so
But I'm
nice.
gonna
Shame
do
on
it.
you. Okay, well, it's been amazing. Thank you so much for your time. Who wants to sign us out? Initiative.
Well, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and this is us. We are out. Share with your friends.
out.
Tell a friend and a girlfriend and another one that we are here. All
Thank
right.
you so much for watching.
Thank you.